Welcome to the Forum. I'm your host, Sheila Evans. It's a new school year and the start of a new season of the Forum. Each show will highlight school and community achievements, events, and programs, and more. It's a tradition to kick off our season by highlighting 3 New Hanover County Schools Teachers of the Year, and we will continue with that tradition today. We sit down with each one, learn a little bit about their background and their teaching methods. Our first guest is the Elementary Teacher of the Year, Jenifer Leeds. She's a 4th grade teacher at Ogden Elementary. Then we feature New Hanover County Schools Teacher of the Year, Meredith Kokoski. She's an English teacher at Laney High School. And finally, Rebecca Clark, Health and Physical Education teacher at Virgo, joins us to tell us about herself. She's the Middle School Teacher of the Year. It's an exciting start to our season with 3 wonderful teachers, and we'll get started right after this short break. Stay tuned.
So, Malcolm, you do know that energy savers last 6 times longer than ordinary light bulbs.
This isn't my room. It's Baron Davis's.
Baron Davis, the basketball player? This is his room?
Yep.
Interesting, because we have Baron Davis right here. Baron, do you live here?
No.
I don't mean that, Baron Davis.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse?
Lace up the cleats, put on the pads, and tape up those ankles. The football edition of Sports Roundtable is back for its 15th season on the Learning Network. I'm Marty Fuhrer. If you're a high school football fan, then join me for Sports Roundtable. We'll feature the area's most in-depth look at local 4A gridiron action. From a strong defense to an explosive offense, we spotlight it all on Sports Roundtable. Each week, you'll get a first-hand account of all the plays from New Hanover County Schools 4 head football coaches. So don't miss the Sports Roundtable, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. right here on the Learning Network. Sports Roundtable is made possible with the support of Papa John's Pizza.
I am joined by New Hanover County School Elementary Teacher of the Year, Jenny Leeds. She is a 4th grade teacher at Ogden Elementary and here to tell us a little bit about herself. Fill us in. Tell us what we need to know about you.
Well, I'm off to a great school year.
Yay.
Well, it's kind of confusing these days with the pay scale. I'm on step 18, so from what I understand, I'm beginning my 19th year in education.
There you go.
And I couldn't be more excited to be back in the classroom. I've been teaching the majority of the time in New Hanover County, have taught all of my years in North Carolina and support public schools.
Very good. I see your button there.
Thank you.
Tell us about your personal philosophy in teaching.
Well, I believe in going the extra mile, giving it your 110% best effort, whether you're a student, a parent, a teacher, and that environment's contagious, especially where I work. Every morning I'm greeted by staff members who are excited to be at school,
Yay.
Students who are running up the stairs to see what we're going to learn, and so that's very motivational to me.
Very nice. What do you think is one of the biggest issues in education today?
Wow. That's a big question. I have that discussion a lot with a lot of educator friends and community members. And speaking from a teacher's perspective, I would say it's probably some of the barriers that are now in place as far as professional growth and development goes for teachers. I work a lot with pre-service teachers, and very recently I was asked, should I go for my master's? Should I continue my national boards? And as we know, teachers are no longer compensated or really recognized for those degrees anymore. And so I have both. I have my master's and my national boards. Those were 2 of the best professional growth experiences.
Wow.
And I would still encourage people to pursue them. However, with the state of pay and everything else now that teachers are no longer being compensated for those degrees, it's very expensive. So it's just, hopefully we can correct that, right?
Yeah, maybe it'll go back and be changed.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone that's considering teaching as a career at this point? They're a junior in college, trying to decide if they should do it.
That's a tough choice. I have a teacher's heart, so I'm always going to guide and lead people who believe that they have an educator's heart into education. We need great public school teachers, and if you feel that you have that calling, if that's in your genes, go for it. I hope that these beginning teachers will see, we've seen that they are now, their salary has been increased, and so there is some incentive monetarily for them to go into the profession, but we need to encourage their professional growth as well as our veteran teachers.
What's your message to other teachers as we begin a new school year?
Well, I've got lots of messages out there. I would like to piggyback off Dr. Markley. He had some great motivational comments for all of us at our convocation, and he encouraged everyone to make sure they're registered to vote. And so, number one, be sure your registration's current. Know where your polling place is. And continue to stand up for public education. This is why we're here. We're here for our community and for our students. And so even when those days are long, remember why we're here. Right. We all have that teaching heart.
Why did you become a teacher?
Well, we should bring my brothers in, I think. I was the classic child that had the schoolroom set up in my bedroom, and I started with teddy bears and dolls, and you know, I think I advanced them far enough, so I needed real students.
There you go.
And so I would rope them in, and so I think I just have always loved sharing what I know and teaching people what I know, whether it was through sports or education.
Very good. What motivates you to go the extra mile?
Those faces that I see every day. I was thinking back over the summer just of my time in education, and I've been fortunate enough because a lot of my time has been here in Wilmington, that I'm now seeing children that I taught in 3rd or 4th grade who've graduated from college, who are now productive citizens in the communities in which they live, and they remember me.
They do. They remember elementary school teachers.
They do. And so it's the kids, absolutely. And, you know, community is so important. And, you know, public schools and community are tied together.
Very good. What do you think contributes to your success as a teacher?
Wow. I definitely am a motivated person. You know, if I see a student struggling, I revisit my instruction, my planning. If I see a student taking off, I revisit my instruction and my planning. What is working, what is not working? And when that light bulb goes off, so does mine. I'm up, I'm taking a walk, I'm thinking, you know, what's the next great thing? That reluctant student, how am I gonna hook him? And I'm hoping that he'll come back one day and say, Mrs. Leeds, I remember in the 4th grade, I wasn't the biggest fan of reading, and now here's what I'm doing. Literacy is a part of my life.
Very good. Have you always taught 4th grade?
Just 3rd and 4th grade.
Very good. All these years.
All these years.
What else keeps you busy outside the school?
Well, I have a wonderful husband. We have a garden. We are big outdoors people. Recently, this past weekend, I was in the peer-to-peer swimming race at Wrightsville Beach. Well, I'm happy to say I won my age group.
Wow.
Yes.
Very impressive.
So, yeah, do a little running and swimming.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yep.
What else do you think could improve the education system for us these days?
I think retaining our teachers. We're big on recruitment, which is important, but we've got teachers in that year 16 through 30 who, that's our backbone. Those are our veterans, and we need to respect that. We need to remember that they need to grow professionally. When there's no money for advanced degree support or professional development, it's hard to grow. It's kind of like in my garden, if a vegetable plant is outgrowing its container, we've got to transplant it so it will continue to produce, and so that's what we need to do for our teachers.
Very good. Well, Jenny, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for coming in and telling us a little bit about yourself, and I'll be back in a few minutes right after these messages.
New Hanover County is growing once again. The cornerstone of our community, our schools, are bulging at the seams. The November school bond will help curb those growing pains. Funds from the bond will improve technology infrastructure across the district. The November bond will improve security across the district for every child and school. It will fund the building of an elementary school in the northern part of the county and rebuild 2 older, overcrowded elementary schools. It will fund repairs and renovations to both high schools and middle schools. For more information on the November school bond, visit the school system's website at www.nhcs.net. Remember, it's our schools, our community, our future.
Shelters are the best places to find a new pet.
What a perfectly beautiful little lady.
That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals.
You little rascal.
Eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet.
Oh, ladies first.
Be that person. Adopt.
This is living. Hey, kid.
To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
I am joined by Meredith Kokoski. She is an English teacher at Laney, but more importantly, she was New Hanover County Teacher of the Year. Meredith, how'd that feel?
It was a shock, for sure. I was surprised to even get my school Teacher of the Year. That was an honor in and of itself, and to be given the title of New Hanover County Teacher of the Year was unbelievable.
What inspired you to become a teacher in the first place?
Believe it or not, which most people would not disbelieve, I was extremely outspoken as a teenager to a fault. I didn't know when to shut up. And I had a teacher when I was in 10th grade, Miss McAndrews, who was just unbelievable. I deeply respected her, but she ignored me because I wasn't speaking appropriately. And at one point she actually said to me, "You talk a lot for someone who doesn't say anything."
Ooh,
and I was,
I
was devastated because I loved her. I loved everything about what she stood for. And so I thought about it and what she meant by that. And I realized that I needed to choose my words wisely. And I loved her and I did love English. And so I thought, you know what, maybe I need to pass that on.
Awesome. What inspires you today?
My students. More so than anything, it's a difficult time to be a teacher. I mean, I think it's always a difficult job, but with the pressure of the final exams and ACT and ABCs and all of that, it's difficult. And so I just have to remind myself that I'm in it for them. I think if we all did that, it would be we'd do a better job. So just looking at them every day helps.
And you think of that aha moment with Mrs. McAndrews, and
yeah,
it's like, wow.
Maybe I could do that.
Describe your teaching style.
Interactive, I would say. I asked my kids that, and they had a variety of
answers
for me. Some along the lines of tough love. I don't let them. I don't let them be the winner. I tell them the truth. I tell them how it is, and I tell them that they're better than the mediocrity that they sometimes
hand in.
Yeah. But I usually let them teach me. I think that the best way that they can show that they've learned something is to be able to teach each other and to teach me. So oftentimes you'll walk into the room and I'm actually sitting somewhere and they're like, "Where's the teacher?" in here, because they're at the front of the room instead. So that's kind of what I like to do the most, is let them engage each other.
Very cool. What do you think is the hardest part of the teaching profession today?
I think at this point in time, one of the most frustrating things I think is this. We have an extreme push for an increase in graduation rate, and I think that that's really, really important, but I don't necessarily think that those numbers are an accurate representation of what we're doing. I fear that we're giving too much for the students, and I think that we need to push them harder. I don't think that we just need to be handing out diplomas. I think we actually need to be teaching them how to earn that. I don't think we're teaching them very much if we're teaching them that they can get away with a lot of things and still walk across that stage. So I think we need to push them more. And I don't think they take 8 North Carolina final exams seriously when they have them in every single class. And I don't think that they're graded fairly. And so I think that there's just this dichotomy between accountability and responsibility. And I think it's too much.
Very good. Tell us about how the current award has helped you professionally or personally, if at all.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yes it has. I love my job. I love teaching, and one of my favorite things, aside from my students, is inspiring other future teachers. I love it. I love having interns. I love having UNCW students in my classroom, and So I feel like this has given me a kind of a platform to do that a little bit more. I think I'm getting an intern again in the spring, and it's been a while since Laney's had them, and I was able to do a professional development workshop on Edmodo for my school, which I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. And Marsha Kearns asked me to speak to the beginning teachers at the orientation in the summer, and I just loved doing that. So I'm thinking it's, just kind of gives me the ability to do things that I've always wanted to do, and just kind of haven't had really the power to. So.
Have you seen enthusiasm in the new folks coming through?
Yeah.
That despite all the negativity out there over teacher pay and, the Common Core and all that stuff? I do, yeah. I mean, I couldn't help but remember what it was like for me to be a first-year teacher, and it's just, they'll never forget it, and you can tell, some of them, and it was kind of neat because in the orientation, I just so expected to walk in and see a bunch of 21-year-olds, and it's not. I mean, people are going into this profession as a second profession, career, and so it was all walks of life and just such a diverse group. It was really neat. I thought I was going to go in and not be patronizing, but be able to speak to kids fresh out of college, and it wasn't like that. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it really wasn't like that. So that was really neat because people are still going into it, and they still love it, and it's not as much as it was. I mean, even intern-wise, we're seeing a huge decline of UNCW teachers or future teachers, and so that's sad. But yeah, they seemed really excited, and they had a lot of questions. And what do you do about cell phones? And what do you do? Just things like that. But they were super excited, cool. And that makes me really excited too. Tell us what else you do besides teach English at Laney. I'm a mom. Okay. I have an 18-month-old son. That kind of was what made it maybe the hardest to believe that I had won Teacher of the Year this past year, because I was coming back from a summer and then 12 weeks of maternity, and I thought, I can't do both of these things. I mean, they're both full-time jobs. Right. So that was hard. I was shocked and very honored that I could still do both of those things, I guess, relatively well. Although I let my son hide my keys in the dog bin, in the dog food bin in the garage the other day, and I looked for 45 minutes for him. So maybe not mom of the year. But I love to paint, and I love just hang out with my family. My whole family transplanted from New York down here. So nice. Oh, it's awesome. I've got 2 nieces that I just adore, so we do a lot of sleepovers and things. But very good. Yeah. I know you just got a new car. I did, yeah. I got a nice little Prius, and it is awesome. The guys at Hendricks Toyota are just wonderful, and 42 miles per gallon. It's a fun little whip, that's for sure. Very good. And you are advisor of National Honor Society. Yeah. What else keeps you busy on the Laney campus besides that? Well, not that that's not enough. Oh my goodness, that is a task. Thankfully, I have a co-advisor. Cherry Woodbury is awesome. Good. She's a good friend, and that's 97 kids, which is amazing. That is a lot. I mean, that's 97 students with 3.6 GPAs, and leadership, right. And I mean, they're just wonderful. So we stay really busy with that, and I'm a mentor to a beginning teacher, and she doesn't really need guidance very much. We learn from each other, but so that keeps me busy. And very good. Yeah. Well, good. Meredith, again, congratulations. Thank you. That's awesome. And I'll be back in a few minutes, right after these messages.
These kids almost had a new community center. A contractor almost volunteered to build it. A carpenter almost worked on the crew. And everyone else almost gave at the fundraiser. They almost gave. Almost. And these kids? Well, they almost stayed out of trouble.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
I am joined by Rebecca Clark, and she is the New Hanover County Schools Middle School Teacher of the Year. She teaches at Virgo, PE and Health, and recently found out that she is the North Carolina State Teacher of the Year for PE and Health. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about that. How did you find out?
I was notified by, oh my goodness, her name. She's a professor at Meredith College. It was last Thursday.
Okay.
Through a letter through NCA, which is our professional organization for the state of North Carolina. And they sent me the notes, congratulations, and read information, and it specifically said that I was chosen as the State of North Carolina Health Living PE Teacher of the Year for middle school.
Awesome, 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 great news.
Yeah,
and you're at Virgo.
I'm at Virgo, yes.
PE and Health.
That's correct.
Very good.
Yeah.
What motivated you to get into the PE and Health field?
Well, you know, honestly, from 8th grade, I knew I wanted to be a coach. For some apparent reason, I always wanted to be a coach, and I think for myself, I just had teachers that were very inspirational to me.
Very good.
I think it didn't really hit me until my sophomore year in college. So I really wanted to really go into healthful living because I was going into education, special education first, and then things kind of changed, and I kind of went to my profession, and that's kind of how that all got developed. Yeah.
Now you wanted to be a coach. Are there any teams at Virgo?
There is. Well, this is our second year hosting athletics at Virgo Preparatory Academy. I'm very excited that we actually have football, girls softball. We've added girls volleyball to our program. We actually added boys baseball this year, and actually we'll have girls and boys lacrosse.
You aren't handling all these yourself, are you?
No. I actually have
Very
quite capable coaches. I'm been very grateful and very fortunate to have people that have the heart to want to teach our kids skill development, which has been great. So no, just directing everything.
Why did you become a teacher?
In all honesty, as I said earlier, I had some very inspiring teachers who not only taught me content, but they really built my self-esteem and self-worth, and they instilled in me dreams. I'm sorry, Miss Mary Mintz was the first person I had at Hallsborough High School, my own hometown. And she just really cultivated within me a desire to say you can do anything you want to do. And from that point on, I feel that within my life's journey, there are many people that actually just inspired me to go for it, do the very best, that nothing is beyond your reach.
Very good.
And I think also too, they made impact on my life. Not just teaching me core content information, but they really wanted to know who I was, what my dreams and aspirations were, my family. They want to spend time with me. I felt like, wow, you come to school and you sit in a chair and sit in the desk and you think, well, that's good enough. But I just had teachers that really wanted to know who I was as a person. I think that really has what inspired me more so to become a teacher, because I see the evidence that when you're that way, kids just thrive and they become more confident of who they are.
Very good. What do you like best about being a teacher?
My students. They're a mile a minute. They keep me jumping. They keep me hopping. To know that you have an impact, whether positive or negative, and that's powerful. I think a lot of times we can get caught up in teaching our content that we don't really realize just how very powerful our presence is in a child's life at those crucial moments. And I think wanting to make sure that your impact is in a positive way counts for a lot. And I really want to always be someone that's remembered as inspiring my kids, being impactful for them.
What do you appreciate most about your students?
Their realness. On a bad day or a good day, you know where they stand. I think for me, I can deal with anyone that is able to tell me truth versus just someone that's fake. And they know when you're fake as well. But I think for me, my kids come as they are. You gotta love them where they're at. And I think that's what gives you hope, because you don't want anything just manufactured. My kids are raw. They're I call them diamonds in the rough. You shine them up, they're sparkle. And I think just that's what they are. They're just who they are.
Very good.
Yeah.
What advice do you have to someone who's trying to get into the profession?
I believe that if you would like to be someone that's impactful but also empowering, that you need to be persistent, patient, and persevering. Because I know that our profession as a whole has changed a lot over the years. And I think a lot of times you can easily get burnt out because of the changes. I think the heart behind what you do and what drives you should be your motivation. But I think those three things have what helped me stay true to the course.
Very good. What changes would you like to see in the present educational system?
I think probably the biggest change that I'm seeing right now, that I think even to have taught high school to middle school, is the parental involvement piece. I know from K-5, parents are with us to the door with their kids, and then after 6 middle school, high school, we lose the connection with them. I would definitely like to see us continue to work on bridging the gap of community piece within a school setting for our parents, as well as far as continue advocating physical activity for our kids continuously throughout the year. Yeah.
What concerns do you have for children in North Carolina?
Well, I know for myself, we still stand 23rd in the state and the nation for obesity rates, even though I know that our obesity rates have dropped. Based upon the CDC's data, we still are ranked 23rd. We still are running the great risk of students develop diabetes, early chronic diseases that are not prevalent for their age. They're still ongoing to develop. And I think with that being said, mandating physical activity every day, mandating not 1 but 2, 3, 4 years for high school graduation, that kids should be involved in some type of physical activity to maintain their livelihood, because we know for a fact that when you're moving, you're developing neurons. The BDNF factor is true. It's research-based. So we know that the more active kids are engaged in activity, the more the neurons, the more they're open to learning, less likelihood of off-task behavior. But for me, longevity.
Yeah.
They live a longer life.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the awesome award at the state level. That's great.
Thank you very much.
And thanks so much for stopping by and telling us more about yourself.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
I'll be back in a few minutes, right after these messages.
Seven 7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Let's catch them before it's too late. To start helping students in your community, visit boostup.org.
Folks, why won't we go to the doctor? My uncle called, speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He called everyone. He even called my daughter Tiara, because, you know, she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911. Time loss is brain loss.
Poor nutrition today will increase Sarah's chances of anemia, add to her healthcare costs, sick days, even stunt her ability to learn. And the thing is, Sarah's not even born yet. Get proper nutrition before it's too late. Call or visit WIC. WIC provides nutrition information, healthcare referrals, even food. Your child has you, and you have WIC.
We hope you've enjoyed our program today. We congratulate all our New Hanover County Schools Educators of the Year. The entire Teacher of the Year banquet can be viewed on the school system's website. Just click on the NHCS TV logo located on the front of the page. Now, if you ever have any questions about the topics discussed here on our show today, please call the school system's Public Relations Office at 254-4180. I'm Sheila Evans, and thanks for joining me today.